Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Midlife Purpose Show, when women 40 and over step into their true calling to create the blueprint of the life they desire. Hi, I'm Yannick Said, your host. I'm a certified master coach who specializes working with women who are in midlife looking to change the direction of their lives, help them find clarity and purpose to move forward and lead the fulfilling life they want. I have been coaching all my life, but officially on my own for the last few years. My background is in adult education, and from that, I've had experience working with adults and also my personal experience. I've gone through many paradigm shifts in my life, from changing careers several times, leaving through a downsizing, starting my life over with children on my own with no support. So I do understand how it is to face challenges and how to overcome them, as well as feeling that you're stuck in a crossroad in your life and knowing what to do, or trying to figure out what to do to take that step, that leap of faith to take you to the other side. So I am well experienced in that, and this is why I work and do what I do. Today, what I'd like to do is to talk about the power of journaling. And before we go, I'd like to know, so whoever, tell me in the chat, in the comment, where you're tuning in from. All right? So I'd like to know who is there and where you are, and I'm wishing you a great day, and thank you for stopping by. So to go back, unlocking the power of journaling. I don't know if any of you are journaling or have done it when you were younger, having a little journal when you were a teenager. But it's more than that. It is quite a useful tool, no matter what stage in our life we are. So what is journaling? Journaling is putting thoughts down. It could be from any perspective. And it's also used for reflection. But also, as you write, it is a vessel, it is a conduit to appeasement or clarity or goal setting. It all depends who you are and where you are in your life. So, there are different types of journal. Okay, that's the journal where daily you write down what has happened throughout the day. Or you could have a gratitude journal where either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, you write down 2, 3, 5 things that you are grateful for that day. It doesn't have to be something grandiose, anything that you find gratitude for. And sometimes it could be the same thing day after day. So it's just a matter of perspective and your mindset and time to reflect. Because it's so easy to go, oh my God, it's this and that. It's always easier to go on the negative side. Even on a bad day, we can find something to be grateful for. I'll give you an example. It's funny because yesterday was, Tuesdays usually when I come live, and I didn't yesterday because something came up and I could not, there's a commitment that was unexpected and I could not defer. I had to deal with that. So I sent a message letting you know that I would be on today. Well, today, I don't know what's going on in the atmosphere. Mercury retrograde, nothing worked. I couldn't get my computer to work. When it did, it's like the mouse and the keyboard were not communicating with the computer. And the printer wouldn't work. And now I'm doing this on my phone because my laptop is not communicating at all. So I had to change my plan for today. I was going to discuss something else, and I had visual I wanted to show on my screen. But because technology is not my friend, I am using my phone. Hence, I cannot share my screen with whatever I wanted to show you. So that will be for another episode. I could dwell on the fact that I'm not doing what I was planning to do. I could dwell on the fact that nothing is working and focus on my frustration. But I did not do that. I'm still finding gratitude, something to be grateful for, despite all the hiccups and the challenge and frustration I've been facing for the last few hours. I'm grateful that my phone is cooperating, that I do have a cell phone, that we have this technology, so I'm there with you today. I'm grateful that I woke up alive today. That's something to be grateful for. I am grateful for the birds that are chirping in the trees outside. All right? So it doesn't have to be something really big, but we can always find something to be grateful for no matter what. Also, you can use journaling to help you towards your goal. For example, it's almost like to have a reflection. If you have a project, whether it's a project in your life, something you want to achieve, so you journal, and it gives you a chance to reflect on what you've done, reflect on what you want to do next, or what you want to improve on. So journaling has many purposes. Now, benefits of journaling. We don't realize that, but it has some benefits. It's not just a tool, it's not just fun to do, but it does have benefits. The first one, especially in your, whether it's work-wise or your personal life, it is great for your mental health. It reduces stress because it's a conduit. As you write, it suits you. Whether you write with a pen paper like I choose to, or some prefer to do it digitally, as you do this, it calms your brain down, your mind down. It helps with anxiety because when you are expressing it in this form, it alleviates anxiety. It doesn't stay bottled up. So it helps with emotions. I'll give you an example. Let's say you had a really bad day. You were very frustrated, or something happened to you and really affected you, either in a positive way or a negative way. When you write it down, it puts your emotions, you can grasp your emotions. So if it's positive, where you delve and you bask into it, if it is something less positive, you can kind of not internalize it. You're expressing it, you're acknowledging it, your emotion, because your emotions are legitimate. So if it's something that wasn't so great, you acknowledge it, you don't internalize it, and the release into your journal. Self-discovery, that's another thing that it's good for. Because as we write, I don't know if you do, but sometimes I go back to older journal, and I can see my path in life and how I have transformed. And as I do it, even if I don't look at the older one, when you write, you get a sense of, sometimes it's not a forced thing. You just have to let your mind go and write down. And as you write, you get inspired. It's almost like the muse takes over, and you write, and you discover things about yourself. As you are expressing it, you might see, your thoughts are coming down, and that makes you reflect, discover something about yourself. It helps also, the next thing is it helps you with goal setting, because if you have a project, whether it's a project at work or through an organization that you do volunteer work with, or your personal life, if you have something that you want to achieve, as you work through it and journal, you look at what you've done and see what else is to be done, or you could see what you could adjust depending on the experience that's happened today. Hi, Raul. Thank you. Hello, Hermes. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so as you go through it, it gives you a chance to regroup. And it's kind of empowering, you know, because if you have it in front of you, oh, I've done this, oh, that didn't work very well. This is what I could improve. Oh, that gives me an idea for the next step. So that is a good tool for this purpose. And the next thing it's good for is for mindfulness and gratitude. I talked about gratitude, but also mindfulness. You know, we talk about mindful meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude. So as you write, you are mindful of what is happening in your life, your circumstance, your day, and you can reflect on it and ponder on it and see how you can resolve, or it's a revelation to you. Oh, I have dealt with this. I've navigated through this challenge, or I've done very well today. I didn't realize how much I have done, or this is good. I was not planning, but look what happened today. And also, and I say again, mindfulness, you're mindful of what's happening, and also your gratitude. You're grateful for what you have accomplished, what you have, and the opportunities. So that is one of the other benefits of journaling. So you're asking, well, how does someone start journaling? It is not something that's very complicated. I remember when I first started eons ago, I only had, do you remember those tiny little notepads that flipped, you know, the page flipped up? It was about 3 by 5. I started that way, and eventually I got a scribbler, and later on I invested in something prettier. And I have to think, this is the latest one I have here. I don't know if you can see. That's very pretty, and it's rose gold. So, and this is where I journal. So you can figure out where you're going to journal. Also set a time when you're going to do it. It's a lot easier to have something become a habit if you do it in a consistent way and also be intentional about it. Some people, it's easier. They're more morning, they perform better in the morning, they will journal in the morning. Others, it's in the evening or in the afternoon. For me, I'm not a morning person. It's in the evening when I do take my me time. I take a few minutes for my journaling because I use it as a retrospective of what I have done today, what I've experienced during the day. All right. And it doesn't have to take that much time. You know, 5-6 minutes out of your day. It's not very long. You know, so you could do it in the morning, maybe as you take your coffee or your tea. Or in the evening, like I say, I usually take it, I do my journaling in the evening when I take a little me time and I regroup, grab the journal and write down. And if you start that way and not imposing yourself a long period of time, maybe 5 to 6 minutes, it will be easier to start. And as you progress, sometimes you'll be more inspired, you know, you end up writing more because you're in the flow, right? You are in the flow. So give yourself some grace. Start small, even if it's 2 minutes. Start with 2 minutes, but do it every day. Be consistent. And then it'll become a habit. They say it takes about 21 repetitions in order before it becomes a habit. All right, so within 3 weeks to a month, you will have it into your routine. It will become your habit. It's like brushing your teeth. You know, you don't have to think about it, you know, it's part of your ritual. You know, it's becoming a part of your daily ritual. So, yeah. And then choose the medium that you're going to use. Like I said, myself, I like to write. I'm still old-fashioned. I use computer, but I like to use pen and paper. And also, for me, there is the visual part of it. I'm a very visual person, and you can see I write with a nice pen, calligraphy. So I take the time. So as I write and draw my pen, I have a pen that glides easily. So it's a texture of the paper and the writing and gliding. It's all a full experience for me. So that's why I prefer doing it. Others prefer to do it digitally, especially younger people. Everything is digital. So it makes it easier to do as well, because you could do it from your phone, from your tablet. You don't have to do it from your computer per se. So choose whatever works for you. The secret is find a way, the method, the time to do it that serves you, not what somebody tells you you should be doing. Figure out what's best for you. I'm just giving you a suggestion. You might come up with something different, but those are suggestions. Do something that is aligned with you, that resonates with you. Because if it doesn't, you won't keep up with it. You will drop it. So find something that's easy for you, that is aligned with how you like to do things, and is aligned with your lifestyle, but be consistent. That's the key. Now, what are the challenges? I said it's quite easy. It's not difficult. But even when it's time to write a journal, there could be some little challenges. For example, I'll give you one, and I've heard people say, well, what do I write in my journal? Nobody tells you what to write. It comes from you. And it could be anything. And if you feel, the one thing sometimes, and sometimes I do face it myself, is the writer's block. Although I'm not necessarily writing a book, although I've written 2 books and I'm writing, actually I have another one coming out in the fall. Watch for the announcement, for the launch. But it's different. Some days you're not inspired. It's like sometimes it's time to cook. You don't know what you're going to cook. You don't know what you want to eat. Well, sometimes when it's time to write in your journal, you go, I don't know what to write. You really, for some reason, nothing comes to mind. What I would say is maybe start by writing, I just don't know what to write. But I will start. Today's been one of those days. I cannot find anything of relevance that really inspires me. So you don't have to have a pre-set notion of what you're going to write. So if you don't feel inspired, just start by saying, journal, today I just don't have it in me. I don't know what to say. This is one of those days. And as you do this, for some reason, it's almost like it's going to turn on the tap and the rest will come. But write, even if it's only to say that. Because you'll be surprised, because once you start writing, for some reason, whether you're typing, your fingers will do the typing, or the writing, it seems your hand just knows and writes down things. I find it very interesting because I've experienced that. The next thing, and I've mentioned it many times during my discussion with you here, consistency is key. Because it's like anything. If we're not consistent, we will not develop a habit and we will let go of it. So first, be consistent. Choose a time of day that works for you, a time of day, a place, and do it. Always in that framework. And don't attach too much importance in the time that you do use to write. It's more important to write. Because if you give yourself a time restriction, I need to write for 10 minutes. No, you don't. You write for whatever time that you want to write or you feel like writing that day. Some days will be more, some days will be less. But consistency is key. So journal regularly at the same time and be consistent. And I don't know if you had a journal when you were a kid, but privacy concern, right? That is that is something that concerns us, especially. digitally or even when it's in writing. So I'll share a little story with you. I had started to write a journal, I think it was 14 or 15, you know, when you have that teenage angst. And one day, for some reason, I did not hide it where I usually hide it, under my mattress. And my little sister found it. I started to read and she was running around with it and laughing. She wouldn't give it to me. I was mortified. And yeah, so if you have a pen and paper one and you're concerned with keeping your thoughts to yourself, find a place where you can lock it. Don't hide it under your mattress. It's not necessarily a safe place. Put it somewhere where nobody else can have access. Either you have a little strongbox with a lock and key, or you have it in a mini home safe, but that you own. Only you have the combination. Whatever you do, find something that works for you. Also, if you do it digitally, maybe put a lock on the document itself, so only you will have access to it. All right. So the concern of having privacy should not be a deterrent for you to have your journal, to have a journal, knowing how beneficial it is for you. Okay. So I can share a couple situations where journaling has been helpful to people and myself. For me, when I journaled at one time when I was starting all over again, I was starting from zero with everything left behind when I started a new life along with 3 children. It was a dark space for me, being alone and not having any family here or any support. And I journaled. And that's what kept me going, because it reminded me why I was doing what I was doing, what I did, when I took that hard decision. So it was a reminder that I did the right thing, although right now, at that moment, things were difficult. Also, it made me see my path, what I had accomplished. So that was a good feeling for me, you know, feel good despite the challenge and the period that I thought was dark, made me see that I had accomplished something and every day was going to get better, that I had to stay consistent. But that was a reminder, and I had a tangible proof because I had journaled what had happened to me. So that was comforting. All right. Another thing, especially when you're going through an emotional time, and sometimes we are hard on ourselves, we don't give ourselves grace. So when we do channel our emotions into our journal and we look back at it, we can see the person we are, and I think it gives us more empathy towards ourselves instead of beating ourselves up and be hard on ourselves. We always are harder on ourselves. And when you see it in writing, you know, what you've gone through, you have more of a tendency to say, you know, it's been tough, but you know, I'm good. I am not that bad. I've just had a rough time, and it was not easy. This was not easy. Instead of saying, oh, I should have done this, or I'm not good enough. No. So when you recall your experience that you put down in your journal, it helps you to build the empathy, the sense of empathy for you, and also empowers you, because you see your journey, you see what you've gone through, and yet here you are. So that is also one good reason to have a journal, because I know this is especially in difficult times, it has been a godsend, and also in good times, because as I recall in a journal the great experience, the positive experience or the fun that I've had or the love that I've experienced while I journal, it activates its endorphins and the sense, a good, warm, fuzzy feeling. So it perpetuates that good feeling. All right. So in the comments, I hope that you find this useful, and hope that you will, if you're not journaling already, that you are going to take up journaling. Or if you have been journaling and let it go for a while, that you will pick it up again. And for whoever is journaling but is not being consistent, that's okay. Today is a new day. Reset the button and start journaling again, and set time, methods in which you're going to journal and be consistent. So happy journaling. Until the next time, I wish you well. So please follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, YouTube Yannick Sid. Subscribe, like, and share. Until the next episode, take care and see you soon. Bye.